Welcome everybody to the Starter Sit Show with Krisko. As always, I'm here with Jeff Krisko. Jeff, what do you think about your Niners playing on Monday night?
I think that it sucks because I'm going to miss the first part of the game because I'll probably be at work. But I was doing Illuminati hand signs, so hopefully somebody sees that and will think that we're part of the Illuminati.
Right now you're doing it?
I was doing it when we started. I was covering my eye. I was doing the look through the eye thing. There's a lot of stuff about eyes in Illuminati. If you do anything
All
with your
right, we're good.
face, they're like, "Oh my God, it's a secret conspiracy."
How many touchdowns is Zach Evans going to score? Zero
Zero,
or not zero?
zero.
Over under on
Oh,
zero point
here.
0.1.
I have a new segment for us every Sunday morning.
Oh, I love it.
It
What's the new
is
segment?
the new segment is Jeff's 5 leg parlay because he didn't learn his lessons and said he was only going to do 3 leg parlays, but now he does 5 legs. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. This is I only put $1 on these. Tua over 1.5 passing yards. Eckler
What?
over 33. What?
1.5 passing
Passing
yards?
touchdowns.
Okay.
Passing touchdowns.
You can make a whole cent off of that.
Yeah. Eckler over 33 and a half receiving yards. Desmond Ritter over zero point 0.5 interceptions. Cooper Cup over 90 and a half receiving yards. And Sun God over 6.5 receptions. That's my because you can in California you can only do parlays, so that's my parlay. My parlay for this week's action, I guess,
That seems odd. What's the reasoning behind only allowing parlays?
because technically it's like a fantasy thing. I guess I don't know. Shoot, I have no idea. I am not a politician. I am not an attorney. I have no idea the thought process. It just is what it is.
I find that online gaming regulatory boards have no idea how the internet works.
No, they don't. Oh, I forgot I went on a Leonard Fournette adding spree yesterday because he said he was going to post. He said he's signing with the team. He said he's announcing it in a week, so his team might be. I'm signing with the fan controlled football league or whatever, and then I can drop him everywhere. But hey, alrighty, let's talk week 7.
Oh, is
Halfway
Jeff frozen? I'm
to
on it.
what's that?
Keep going. I'm just taking notes. There it goes. That should fix it. Okay, you have to move. You blinked. Okay, thank God.
Uh, Okay. Inactives this week. So I was doing this thing where I was running down every single game, and then as soon as we started, half of my work was negated by the inactives report. So let's start off with the inactives report. So Atlanta Falcons, nobody of note is inactive today. For the Baltimore Ravens, they will be without Josh Johnson. Oh no, Evan. Fantasy implications of no Josh Johnson.
Who's Josh Johnson? As a Ravens fan,
He,
I want to say
he,
who's Josh
Who's
Johnson.
Josh Johnson? He played in the NFC Championship game last year.
Wow.
He's a backup quarterback. He was one of the second guy that came in, or the first guy that came in after Brock Purdy got hurt. Um,
I'm not adding him to
so
our list.
all right, for the Buffalo Bills, nobody of note. Maybe if you think German Ifedi is any good. Um, for the Browns, notably not on this list is the bad man. Deshaun Watson is playing, and DTR is inactive. How about that? You beat at the time one of two undefeated teams in the league, a Super Bowl favorite, and the next week you're inactive for a guy who did a bunch of rapes. How do you like them apples?
Super on par for
Oh no, that was
society.
PJ Walker. Never mind. It's
PJ
still I'm still
also
tired.
also going against the team that drafted PJ Walker.
Who drafted? They're going up against an XFL team.
They're going up against the Colts.
Ah, there you go. All right, the Detroit Lions are going to be without Marvin Jones. Thank God. A running bit on the podcast every week is me asking Walker when they're going to bench Marvin Jones, and he's inactive. So thank God. We loved you, Marvin, but your time has passed. Pass the torch. David Montgomery also inactive. That was kind of telegraphed all week. For the Colts, nobody of note except for Kylan Granson. For the Jags, they already played on Thursday. For the Raiders, handsome James Garoppolo is officially inactive. That was announced yesterday, but now it's official. The Patriots will be without Kayshon Boutte, JuJu Smith-Schuster, and Malik Cunningham and Will Greer. So congratulations to everybody that went out and added Malik Cunningham this week because Bill Belichick said something about him getting a role. Congratulations. I hope you're very happy. I hope you're proud of yourself. Also, this is not any sort of alcohol. This is Red Bull.
Real quick, props to YouTube's streaming thing, which auto-corrected Juju Smith-Schuster correctly. Wow.
Doo-doo shit poopster.
Yep.
All
Juju
right.
Smith-Schuster.
For the Giants, Daniel Jones is officially inactive, as is Andrew Thomas. So best of luck to Tyrod Taylor. And for the Buccaneers, nobody of note is inactive. And then for the afternoon at Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football games, Diontae Johnson, Jeff Wilson Jr. both activated off of IR. They are in. Aaron Jones is expected to play. The big boy, the big news. Christian McCaffrey expected to play per Adam Schefter. I would go out and find somebody from that game that you could flex to just in case, because if you're a Christian McCaffrey manager, you're holding out for Christian McCaffrey, because if you have him, your roster is built in such a way that you probably will lose without Christian McCaffrey. So whether you start him or start Zach Evans or Darrell Henderson, I will take the 50-50 shot on Christian McCaffrey over the 1 in 25 shot on Zach Evans or Darrell Henderson.
Minnesota's backup RB's got to be available everywhere.
Cam Akers?
Oh God, never mind.
Cam Akers is weirdly, he's just a free spot every week in the cut article.
The running joke.
I think he's down.
When Minnesota traded the Rams, Myles Gaskin, the running joke was they're secretly going to put Cam Akers on that plane just to troll Sean McVay.
Yeah, please. Oh, and then Aaron Jones is also expected. DK Metcalf is a game time decision, so throw him in your flex, see what happens. As somebody who was forced to start JSN today, I really hope that DK Metcalf takes a week off. Zach Charbonnet is not expected to play. Deebo Samuel
is not playing.
He's not playing.
As a guy,
yeah,
he's not officially up. As a guy who follows social Seattle local media, there's no reason to play him whatsoever.
Yeah, I didn't think he would play, so Ken Walker wheels up. Maybe 130 total yards for Ken Walker today.
He's the number one Vegas line for scoring 2 touchdowns.
Oh, damn. Justin Watson out. Kyren Williams is out. Ronnie Rivers is out. Pat Freiermuth is out. Greg Dulcich is out. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Joe Mixon, Tyler Boyd, Dak Prescott, Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, Derrick Henry, DeAndre Hopkins, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Adam Thielen, Miles Sanders, CJ Stroud, Nico Collins, Damian Pierce, also all out, because we got 6 teams on bye, baby.
Oh, thank God. I was like, when you say a list of players and you don't say in or out, I'm like hovering in the menu, being like, where do I put them? Oh my God.
Okay. No, that was a bit. Was a bit. We got a lot of teams. A lot of teams on bye, and a lot of my heavy Alvin Kamara usage is paying off this week, where I have a lot of teams on bye that are doing with a lot of teams with a lot of players on bye. They're doing just fine thanks to Alvin Kamara.
Also, Adam in the chat, thanks for the help with the video, and he says Josh Johnson is a dog who's on a mission to play on every single team in the NFL.
He is. It rules. I got to see Josh Johnson play live, baby. So I guess it'll be a part of history. But shout out, I just want to give a quick shout out to Alvin Kamara and a big shout out to everybody who was trying to find reasons for him to be bad. So thank you very much. Very happy to have Alvin Kamara basically everywhere.
Oh, nice job.
People decided, so I'm going to go on a jag about fantasy Twitter. So fantasy Twitter wasn't sure about how many games Alvin Kamara can miss. So people were prudently ranking him like RB 28, RB 29. Like he might miss half the season. You don't know. Blah blah blah. And then when he only missed 3 games, people were like, "Oh, well, I had him ranked RB 29 for a reason, and I don't know how my own brain works. So I guess because he's only missing 3 games, I'll drop him to like RB 24." And it's like, what? It's people forget why they do things that they do. So
yeah,
it's a major problem.
Yeah.
And I was part of that problem. I'll be really honest with you. I had him at 26. I was a major part of that problem. So, I'm not innocent.
I have a problem where I think I can predict breakouts preseason, and then I
Mm,
can't. So
move
my
off of them.
and what I'm
You
realizing is
can't move off of them.
my most successful league is always my big money league, and it's because I can't get any breakouts because it's 14 team auction, and so I just have to
Mhm.
navigate based on rankings, and I always do great. And so I'm like new thing, no breakouts, more auction navigation strategy.
Well, I think that what you want to do is if you're going to spend money on a guy, spend money on a guy who hasn't done it yet, because like half your roster is going to be different by the time the season's over. So you could spend. Yeah, I'm just going to throw out values here. I'm not going to say that it's these are correct. You can spend $12 on or James Cook, and I'm not saying that that's how much he was worth, or you could spend $12 on let's see who's kind of a jaggy guy who's already done it. $12
Adam
on
Thielen, I
no,
have bad
Adam
faith. I have
Thielen
bad
was
faith here.
Khalil Herbert.
Ew.
I had Rashad Penny 27. Ugh, gross. Gross, Jeff. What did you do? Looking back at ranks is disgusting.
Deck you,
This
welcome to the
isn't.
chat. As always, his
Oh, thank you.
prediction this week is Mark Andrews having a good percentage of targets and a decent week. Going out on a limb
That's
there
right.
from across the pond.
That's right. Mark Andrews. People, we were getting. I saw questions about like, should we worry about Mark Andrews and all that stuff? Mark Andrews is tight end too, you guys.
Yeah. Here's the thing from a Baltimore Ravens fan. They added more weapons, but Lamar Jackson still only runs it or force feeds it to Mark Andrews when he's under pressure. And this week he's got Aiden Hutchinson coming around the bend. So
Yeah. So
yeah, it's going to be a
a lot of Mark Andrews.
double digit target day for Andrews.
Yeah, like I'm putting my foot up. We're getting comfortable here, folks. But yeah, Mark Andrews is good. Is 14.3 PPR points per game. The problem is if you drafted Mark Andrews to do that, and if he's just doing that, you're like, is something wrong with Mark Andrews? You're
Yeah.
like, no, that's what you drafted him to do. I'm realizing I forgot to clean up my trash before we started. So
People's baseline for tight end, I think, is like 5 to 10 points when your baseline should be zero.
that was my whole thing with Taysom Hill last year, where I was like, bro, his baseline is zero. Like every tight end's baseline is zero. And so I was looking back on old articles where I was like, Taysom Hill is the only one that has stupid upside. So like, yeah, if you're gonna start Taysom Hill or like Dalton Schultz is a bad example, or like Mike Gesicki last year or something, it's like, yeah, bro, everybody has a floor of zero. That's the thing. Everybody has a floor of zero, which is why you don't chase touchdowns. You chase 4 for 40 and hope for a touchdown. If you don't get a touchdown, you're getting that zero. If you get close to that 4 for 40, hey, guess what? You're still getting fantasy points, and you're not going to get super mad that such and such didn't score a touchdown this week. Chigakonkwo didn't score a touchdown, sort of thing.
Taysom Hill is a tight end. I thought he was a QB. Yeah, well, so did Sean Payton.
Yeah,
How
so did
did that
Sean
work out?
Payton. uh, the best part, what sucks is like Taysom Hill is really bad, and I got into a big fight with a bunch of Saints Twitter last year because of they were talking about maybe having to trade Alvin Kamara because they didn't have the cap space to extend him, and I was like, oh, I bet you're really happy you gave Taysom Hill all that money now, and it's like, oh well, he's worth it. It's like, no, he is really fucking not worth it.
Did you see the tweet that New Orleans is 85 million over the cap and the most they can trade away is 15 million in the
I ain't worried
offseason?
about that anymore.
Salary cap ain't
The
nothing but a thing.
People talk about like, oh, my innocence was lost on 9/11, or my innocence was lost on, Pearl Harbor, whatever. My innocence was lost when the New Orleans Saints figured out how to get under the cap every year for 25 straight years or whatever crazy bullshit they've been pulling. Like, I don't care. Just every season, just breathless articles about how the New Orleans Saints can't pull it off. How are they going to get under the cap? And they're under the cap now, and the answer is what I was saying all along, which is they're just going to have to cut their good players. But yeah, uh, the cap isn't real. You can if you well the cap is real, but it's not real if you have a massive contract. If you have a massive contract on your cap, you can just keep moving money around inside that contract to make the dollars work. That's why Drew Brees got what felt like a restructure every offseason, because you could just move money around inside that massive contract. It's almost
Half
like a placeholder.
half PPR. Kareem Hunt at Indianapolis or Daryl Henderson versus Pittsburgh.
Ooh,
Uh,
starting off strong. Um, we have no idea what's going on with the Rams. Like literally zero at all whatsoever. Sean McVay said that he's going to lean on Darrell Henderson and Royce Freeman, and that Zach Evans would be a straight backup. So we have an idea that it's going to be um, Darrell Henderson, but we don't know. Last week,
it's
Kareem Hunt had 15 touches, um, which again played well against a good 49ers team. He is expected to play. He's warming up. He's not on the inactive list. He was dealing with a thigh injury. All of this is to say, maybe just don't play this week. Figure out if you can ask your league to just take a tie.
I'm calling
No.
BS. I'm calling BS. Sean McVay is going to favor the guy he cut mid-season last year, and the guy
I don't care about narratives.
he didn't even
I don't.
elevate from the practice squad when there's two remaining running backs over a guy he traded up for in the sixth round. I don't know. I think that's bullshit.
Well, it's not bullshit. It's that I think that narrative is going a little bit far. We've seen this before with CJ Anderson. I think the real answer, I'm not caping for Henderson. I don't want people to think that I'm caping for Henderson or I'm caping for any particular Rams running back. What I'm saying is that we don't know. So my answer to that was going to be Kareem Hunt because we don't know. We don't know what the hell is going on with the Rams. Like roll a four-sided die or three-sided die because
Is that possible
um,
physically to make?
three-sided die.
Yeah. Can you have a geometrical prism with only three sides?
Uh,
No curves? Yeah, you can't do it. Can't do it.
well, roll a six-sided die and then divide it by two,
Perfect,
and
perfect,
run them
perfect.
down.
We're getting to the real solutions here. How do we feel about Kyler Murray's return? Let's say he comes back against the Browns in 3 weeks. Is he going to be hot or not?
Um, my real hot take is that Kyler Murray doesn't return.
That was my take before the season even started.
Yeah, I think they got a little spicy with Josh Dobbs under center for a while, but the true pallid nature of this Cardinals offense is coming to light. Even with Kyler Murray, they're not doing much. And, we forget that Kyler Murray and the Cardinals had a very contentious relationship before the injury. Um, I have no. All that being said, you have to stash Kyler Murray. If he's available on your waiver wire, you have to stash him because he could be good. Will he be good against the Browns? Probably not. That bad defense scares the shit out of me after what I saw they did to the 49ers last week. Granted, the Niners should have won. Brandon Ayuk had a massive drop. Jake Moody had one big kick that he should have hit at the end of the game and one at the half that he could have kicked, could have made.
Here's the real answer, okay? Let's say he comes back in 3 weeks against the Browns, hot or not. In 3 weeks,
No.
in 3 weeks, it will be November 12th. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 launches on November 10th. So no, he will not be hot.
Oh,
He will not be hot.
that's analytics, baby. Sorry, I had to turn my fan off. It was too cold in here.
My
Speaking of
take was too
analytics,
hot.
yeah, it was too hot. Speaking of analytics, so Evan, remember your alphabetical order
Yes.
touchdown prediction? Big game today for Wandale Robinson.
How come?
Because here's what I dug up. The big game against the Washington Commanders. A.J. Brown,
Okay.
DJ Moore.
Oh,
What do they have in common?
Jay.
Not Jay. They do have that in common. They both have punctuation in their name. Only
Oh,
one player on the Giants has punctuation in his name, and it's Wandale Robinson.
okay. He's
So
a
big
start.
game for Wandale Robinson today.
He's to start. Hi, OJ. Hi, Fatty. Thanks for coming in the chat. OJ
What's up?
says, in a PPR league where I need upside, should I go Michael Wilson or Donta Foreman? And for those of you, not
Mm,
me, but for those of you watching who don't know, would you explain who Michael Wilson is? Again, not for me.
this is a rookie for the Arizona Cardinals. I believe he was a third-round pick. He was, I think, who they were throwing to in that famous practice clip where like doinked off the head of an offensive lineman. I would say so. Here's the thing. Michael Wilson. I'm trying to make sure I know who they're playing.
Seattle.
Because okay, Michael Wilson against Seattle. or Deonta Foreman against the Raiders.
PPR.
Um, PPR. I would say Michael Wilson because the Seahawks are the worst pass defense against wide receivers this season in terms of fantasy points allowed. The Raiders are, let's see here, the Raiders are outside the top 10 in running back fantasy points. So it's a decent matchup against the best possible matchup you could have. And if you're going upside, I will go for the guy not without Tyson Bagent and his offense.
Does the punctuation in Deonta Foreman's name affect your decision at all?
Only if he was playing the Commanders.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Hey, Shane, welcome to the chat. Shane wants to know, picked up Michael
What's up,
Mayer
dude?
this week. Do I start him against the Bears over Darren Waller? Half PPR.
Yes. Yes. This is a big fight. Well, okay, first of all, I want to say Walker likes Michael Mayer this week. A big fight that I have with Walker every week on the podcast, and not Mike because Mike was out. He was on IR. He is back, baby. Let's go. But my big fight is that Darren Waller is in the blob. Michael Mayer has a good matchup, and he doesn't have his backup quarterback. So I'm going to go with Michael Mayer over Darren Waller, but they're both in the blob. So yes, I will go Mike Mayer over Darren Waller. Also because he sounds like Michael Myers, and it's the spooky month.
Oh, it is a spooky month for Michael Myers. It's getting close. That's cool. What are you going as for Halloween?
I am going as a guy giving out candy.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to wear something. My wife does that thing every year.
I don't have kids, so it was like I don't have kids, and we just stay at home and give out candy, and so we were just like, all right, my Halloween costume is guy giving out candy.
My wife always drives me crazy every year. She has dirty blonde mid-length hair, so every year she just throws on a bathrobe, pours a cup of milk, rolls up a rug, puts on her shoulder, and puts on sunglasses. And I'm like, "You're perfect. You're perfect. This is the perfect.
Bingo.
This is the dead ringer female dude." And I don't know how I can
Does
beat
she
that.
do?
It's so low
Does she
effort.
do?
It's so perfect.
Does she do shoe polish facial hair?
No.
Oh, okay.
And then my one kid's gonna wear a striped red and black shirt and black shorts and pull a red wagon with a stuffed tiger in it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oddly enough, it's not the one named Calvin.
Yeah, I was gonna say he is either Calvin or Hobbs.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going as Calvin this year. And I'm like, you have to clarify. Are you going as your twin brother? Because that's kind of low effort, but also kind of genius. So, like,
That would be really good. They should go as each
just
other.
go as each other.
That would be really good.
Annie, the twins should go as each other next year. She's busy. She didn't care. All right. All right. Picked up Diontae off. Hi, the ruined. Hi, Tony Martin. We see you. Picked up the Diontae off waivers to stash on IR. Have Christian Watson in my flex, but wondering if I should start Diontae versus Watson, half PPR.
Watson going up against Denver. I would probably go with Christian Watson just because of the whole I don't like to start guys coming back from injury unless they are transcendent talents. And especially I believe he had a hamstring injury. So I would be cautious and not start Diontae Johnson this week, just because he is a very technical guy, and I really fear a re-injury of that hamstring. So
If
I would say be cautious next week. Well, let's check back next week.
if Watson goes off on my bench, I'm going to feel bad. If Diontae goes off on my bench, I'm going to be like, "Whoa, you solved the riddle. Okay, that's cool for next week, and I'm gonna feel good."
If you solve the Ritter,
Isn't?
you should tell Arthur Smith how to do that.
Oh God, who's the bad one? Pickett. You solved the Pickett
He solved the Pickett.
puzzle.
Ritter's also the bad one.
God, they're so bad. Well, the Ritter's worse.
Yeah, if Christian Watson went off on my bench, I go, what the hell? Why do I have Christian Watson on my team? I had him this offseason in Goon Dynasties, and I traded him for him and a first-round pick for Kyle Pitts, and I was feeling really stupid until the last 2 games. And I still feel pretty stupid because I then used my second-round pick to draft Sam Laporta. So now I'm not even playing Kyle Pitts. So good job, Jeff. You did a great job.
That's a nice job. The Ruined loves it. Thank you, The Ruined. What else is going on? Which game are you looking forward this morning more than Baltimore or Detroit?
Other than Baltimore, Detroit.
Other than, not more than.
Let's see what we got kicking around here. We got Browns, Colts, Raiders, Bears, Bills, Patriots, Commanders, Giants, Falcons, Buccaneers, Steelers. Oh, that's an afternoon game. Oh God, this morning slate is doo-doo.
Tony says Christian Watson is going to Gambletown favorite this week.
There you go. I'll defer to Gambletown. It's a good matchup. It's a good matchup.
Is the red zone channel just going to show Detroit and Baltimore? And be like, look, this is it, y'all.
No, it's going to show Detroit, Baltimore, and half of Bills, Patriots. Just whenever the Bills have the ball.
True.
None of the. What's weird is other than Lions, Ravens, I keep coming back to Falcons, Buccaneers, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm looking through this list, Browns, Colts, no thank you. I don't want to watch Deshaun Watson. Maybe I just lean into the skid and watch Hoyer versus Tyson Bagent.
Bilbo Baggins.
I watched Tyson Baggins. More like Tyson Bag End because he's getting buried under a mountain. Let's go. I know they're small hills. Don't come at me.
Deshaun Watson is active.
Yes, he is playing. The bad man is playing.
He's been active before and then not played, so not 100%.
It would be very strange for them to activate him because he basically has the yips at this point, I think is what it is. I think he self-yips. And it would be very weird for them to activate him and then not play him. Yeah, I guess Falcons, Buccaneers. Mostly because every Falcons game is chaos because of Desmond Ritter. Bills, Patriots will be fun. But Raiders, Bears, no thank you to the backup bowl. Browns, Colts, I don't want to watch Gardner Minshew shit up the place again. And then on the other side, the bad man. Bills, Patriots, I guess I could watch the train wreck of the Patriots. Commanders, Giants is also an interesting one just because I'm still not sure what to think of the Commanders. I think that's because I'm still not sure what to think of Sam Howell. But other than that, this is not a very intriguing morning slate.
It is not.
Afternoon slate, the obvious answer is Chargers, Chiefs. Maybe Cardinals, Seahawks, but I think that one's going to be a stinker. But I forgive the entire NFL for having a bad set of games in the morning and the afternoon for this Sunday night football. Because let me tell you something. I am waiting all day for Sunday night.
Eagles, Dolphins, and the Dolls.
Eagles, Dolphins. I'm just gonna. Usually, I work during Sunday night football. I'm writing a little bit, doing this, that, and the other. My intent is to do all the absurdity checks about the 10 o'clock games today during the 1 o'clock games, so I can just close my laptop and just watch Dolphins, Eagles. Just sit back and just bask in the glory.
PPR: Henderson versus Pittsburgh or Reynolds versus Baltimore?
Craig?
Yep.
Craig Reynolds?
Yep.
The thing is they're both in line to get 6 touches. I will go. Give me Craig Reynolds. He has the more likelihood to get 10 to 11 touches.
That's why I say, especially in PPR, he's less of a floor of 3.
Is there a way for you to add the banner that says all Rams running back start sits are made with 0 confidence?
Yes.
I feel like I need that disclaimer. Because yikes, big ol' yikes. Because there's a compelling case to be made for Darrell Henderson and Zach Evans and Myles Gaskin. No, I'm just kidding. He's going to be inactive, they said. Let's see. What do we got going on? Carrie Underwood is the NFL's Queen of Soul. That's okay. Right. McVay juked us on Zach Evans.
PPR: Elijah Mitchell at Minnesota, Kareem Hunt at Indianapolis, Darrell Henderson again versus Pittsburgh.
Oh, say it again. Elijah Mitchell.
Kareem Hunt, Darrell Henderson, PPR.
Elijah Mitchell only has value if Christian McCaffrey doesn't play, and it looks like Christian McCaffrey is going to play. Jordan Mason is the better running back there, at least right now. They seem to go back and forth, but right now it's Jordan Mason who's running better. Darrell Henderson, all Rams predictions are made with 0 confidence. But I will go with Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, 15 touches last week, was involved in the passing game. He could goose egg you, but so could Daryl Henderson. Daryl Henderson's upside is falling into the end zone. So
I have a feeling Cleveland
I'm
wants to sit on that running game.
yeah,
I
it's
have a f
this week's really messy, almost like there's 6 teams on bye or something.
When you have the yips, passing to Kareem Hunt can help you get out of that.
That's true. That's
Uh,
very true.
Tony, thanks for the question. Full PPR. Elijah Moore versus Indy or Josh Downs versus Cleveland?
Josh Downs, baby. Because Elijah Moore is stinky. He's bad. He's not a good football player. He really bad. Josh Downs, good football player. Good football player.
One,
Elijah Moore, bad football player.
one time in the Discord, I posted Elijah Moore is bad, and then like less than a minute later, he did that running play for negative 21 yards.
Oh, that's not fair. Because that day, oh wait, he had one where he caught it was a running play, and then there was the one where he literally ran backward.
That one. Oh, was that
It was
pass?
out of control.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was so funny. And it was against my Ravens, so I was just laughing with my kids.
that was the play that I think gave him Badman the yips.
Oh, yeah. Good Lord. Don't throw to Elijah Moore.
Was Tyson Bagent drafted, or was he an undrafted free agent?
Who's
Undrafted. Okay.
who? I mean, explain for the
Tyson
people.
Bagent,
Oh, Bajan.
the starting quarterback for your Chicago Bears
My
today.
Chicago
Tyson
Bears.
Bagent, undrafted quarterback out of Shepherd,
Out
who
of
was
what?
somehow on top 15. Shepherd.
What?
Shepherd.
Is that like a city?
It's a
Was, was
college.
that his job before quarterback?
Uh, yes, he studied under Jesus Christ.
I mean, we have a
Oh no,
cow
he was a
farmer.
carpenter.
Cow farmer is going
Uh,
to
sh-
lead the NFL in draft next week, so we can have a shepherd.
let's see. PFR. Let's see. Shepherd player / alumni. I wrote that no player had been drafted since 1960 from Shepherd, but oh, that was a lie. Ooh, Sporting News lied to me. Wayne Wilson was drafted in 1979. He is the only player that has played in the NFL that has been drafted from Shepherd.
Wow.
Yeah. No D2 quarterback has been drafted since 1999. That's what I wrote about him in the breakdown before the season. I comped him to nobody because he's some guy on a practice squad somewhere who never makes it into a real life game. And I was wrong. He showed me wrong, proved me wrong. Only 7 games into the season, he's a starting quarterback in the National Football League
I
because the
thought,
Bears are a well run organization.
who was the guy I picked after Jared Goff who went to North Dakota? Number
Picked
two,
after Jared
yeah,
Goff,
number two overall.
Marcus Mariota. No,
No.
that was after Jameis. Carson Wentz.
Yes. Isn't was it North Dakota D2 back then? Or was it like
It was
NCAA
South Dakota.
1B or whatever?
He went to South Dakota.
Oh, my mistake.
I
Goodness.
think he went to South Dakota.
I thought he went to North Dakota because they're the powerhouse. Okay, well now I'm
Uh,
Googling.
no, they are North Dakota. You're right. You're right. I take it back. I was thinking of my big handsome man Trey Lance. Uh,
Future Dallas Pro Bowler.
future. I will fucking kill somebody if that happens.
Thank you for the wins info, Tony. I should have just checked chat. I forgot we got smart people in there. What else is going on? I thought there'd be a little more action, seeing as how there's not a London game for once. Thank God.
Yeah, we didn't go last week because London games. Evans boys were playing in the London game.
Oh yeah, they woke up to surprise me.
Can I get political for a second?
Of course.
Okay, so um, I know a lot of people right now are talking about like a two-state solution to things, and I think that's not really tenable. I think we need to have both sides come to the table, and it needs to be one united front, one united government. That's the only way that the Dakotas can move forward. One Dakota.
Well,
You thought I was talking about the ethnic cleansing.
what the hell? North Dakota is actually really good at football. So South Dakota has Mount Rushmore.
It's because that's where all the Canadians sneak in over the border is into North Dakota.
Are the Canadians sneaky gold medal favorites for the flag football Olympics?
Who they have? They have Mapletron. Oh, and then all the CFL guys. But I think most of the CFL guys are just Americans who couldn't cut it.
Maybe.
Let's see, Canadians in the NFL. I mean, I know Canadians are best known for importing to America musicians, comedians, extreme right wing pundits. But I don't think they're really known for football players. Let's see. Present. Here is the list of Canadian players in the NFL. A bunch of guys I've never heard of. Chase Claypool. Oh, N'Keal Harry. Chuba. John Mechie. Josh Palmer's Canadian. They have a lot of receivers. They have no quarterback. They have no quarterback in the NFL. Oh boy.
Well, let's get the Montreal Alouettes on the phone.
On a boat.
On the phone.
On the phone. Sorry, my left earphone didn't charge. My left earbud didn't charge, so I'm on the right one. So
I'm not advocating for putting foreigners on a boat. Foreign immigrants.
Sure. Well, Canadians, I am, except for First Nations.
Let's see. Best go.
The rest of those maple huffers can get fucked.
Let's see. Looking at the best foreign players for because they're having flag football in the 2028 Olympics. Penei Sewell, American Samoa.
That might be sneaky. He can catch passes.
That might be cool. Bryce Young. Where's Bryce Young from?
Bryce Young? Is he a military brat?
He was
born in Philly.
Yeah, what the I don't this USA Today is not known for 100% accurate journalism.
I mean, let's be clear. They say water funny, but that doesn't mean that they're a completely different country.
It's a wash. OJ says not starting him, but is it worth hanging on to DeMarcado in Dynasty?
No. Amari DeMarcado is not good at football. He is not anybody that's worth worrying about.
But then you can change your team name to 666 DeMarcado Beast.
Okay, so if you are drafting guys and having them on your roster for good team names,
which I do,
then have at it.
Cool, I will.
Yeah, Amari DeMarcado. Let's see. He is 25. He's going to be 25 in a couple months, and so he's a 25-year-old rookie. Tell me if you want a 25-year-old rookie on your roster.
Well, aren't both the top two prospects for the NFL draft quarterback next year like 24?
Okay, 25-year-old running back rookie. Okay, Quarterbacks are different. Yeah.
Fair.
And COVID fucked up these curves a lot.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, Amari DeMarcado, it was just kind of like he was a guy that was around. And so I don't think he has really any dynasty value.
I'm not finding any good international play. Well, many good international players on NFL rosters.
Moritz Boehringer.
He's
still around?
Germany's own. I'm gonna look him up. That type rolls. For those who don't know, Moritz Boehringer started like a league in Germany for NFL football, and then eventually parlayed it into an NFL career, sort of career.
I mean, there's a ton of guys with at least African heritage. But I feeling Googling. Okay, I need to roll that back. I don't mean black players. I mean I mean guys with like very like of the continent last names. Like Nwangwu. Like Kene Nwangwu. NFL players. So I realize that came off really racist, but that's not what I was saying. Because there's a lot of guys who have very much of the continent last names, like Usi Umanora. He's not active though. Trying to see, this is Meet the African Stars of the NFL. Matthias Kiwanuka, Ogbanya Okoronkwo. Oh, Ziggy Ansah. Interesting.
Boehringer plays for the Stuttgart Surge right now, which I'm going to assume is German.
Yeah, sounds Stuttgart. Jeremiah Owusu Koromoa. He is from the continent. That can't be right.
Tony says, real talk, only Germany and Canada would be threats to American Olympic flag football supremacy. And Mike Valverde, welcome to the chat, says, Dare Angubawali. Sorry,
Oh yeah,
Dare Agunbawala.
Dare Ogunbowale.
Thank you for correcting me.
Jesus. So I'm looking up Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, and this is this sounds like a future TH fantasy profile 20 years down the line. He's of Ghanaian descent. In 2022, he was running a football camp in Ghana for the youth. His older brother, Joshua Emmanuel Owusu-Koramoah, was found dead inside a burned house on April 5th, 2022. 2 days later, police in Hampton, Virginia said that Ronald Ivan Scott has been charged with 1 count of murder and 1 count of arson. So he brought his brother, I guess, and Ronald Ivan Scott. Hold on. Joshua also played football. That's what it is. Okay, I'm trying to figure this out on the fly. But yikes. Big ol' yikes. That sucks for JOK.
Deku says, if the rest of the world played American Hand Egg, you guys wouldn't even be top 10. Sorry to inform you.
Would what?
If the rest of the world played American Hand Egg, we wouldn't even be top 10. Sorry to inform us.
I'm going to call complete bullshit on that. Because let me tell you, no country packs on the mass like the US of A.
That's fair. Joe Thomas is like a skinny, normal-looking dude now.
Yeah, nobody packs on the mass like the US of A, baby.
If anyone doesn't know that story, Joe Thomas is the Hall of Fame left tackle for Cleveland for 15 years, and he was like 300 pounds. And after the year he retired, he's like, I have to, in the offseason, eat a peanut butter sandwich and a glass of milk every hour to keep weight. And sure enough, like 3 months after retiring, he's like a normal looking dude. He works for the NFL, and people pass him in the halls, and people are like, "That's Joe Thomas, Hall of Famer." They're like, what? That's just a male guy. Like, what are you talking about, man?
Well, I mean, he's absolutely jacked now. He just doesn't have that offensive lineman diet. But I remember Ross Tucker, former offensive lineman, talking about that as well, where he's like, I used to have to eat 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and like massive glasses of milk right before I went to bed to like keep weight up, like basically so I wouldn't lose weight in my sleep. And he was like, everybody's like, oh man, that sounds awesome. I'm so jealous, blah, blah, blah. He's like, try it. Do it once. Eat 2 peanut butter jelly sandwiches and a big old glass of milk before you go to bed once. Tell me how awesome that is. And he did it every night during the season.
I'm gonna. So what would really happen, Deku, is if the rest of the world played American Hand Egg, I think would mirror a lot what's going on with women's international soccer, where for a while the women's American team just dominates, and then other countries put way more money into the infrastructure than the U.S. is putting into theirs, and they emerge as powerhouses after a few cycles.
I think that's a good comp. I think also it's a situation where if the rest of the world got into it, like if it became a permanent Olympic sport, we would see like what's happened with the NBA and basketball, where the dream team was 30 years ago at this point. So you have a whole generation of NBA level talent in other countries that grew up watching the Americans dominate and watching. Really, I mean, they made basketball more of a legitimate sport in the Olympics, and the infrastructure in other countries grew, and now other countries are catching up, like Argentina and Greece and all these other countries. I mean, the best basketball player in the world is a Nigerian immigrant to Greece who was then drafted into the NBA. So, I mean, you can see right there the complete, or his parents were immigrants because it's Giannis Antetokounmpo. You can see that international. It'll take a couple generations, but it'll get there. But also, it's the sort of thing where, like, if the NBA sent its best players, which they don't, it wouldn't even be a contest. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, but like, there's nobody that anybody can trot out there that's going to beat the best 12 American-born players in the NBA.
I'm also
That's the
realizing
thing.
I'm realizing a flaw in my argument and my comparison with women's soccer because uh, the America will keep pouring money into a sport that men like, as opposed to women's soccer. So they might not be able to match the money overseas.
Well, there's also the inherent sexism in women's soccer. Women's soccer, girls' soccer is like the only quote unquote real girls' team sport that they can play. And so every good female athlete gets funneled into either that or softball. But when you're a kid, it's Little League. So if you're going to have like it's Little League baseball, not softball. So if you're going to play like one sport, like from when you're 6 until you're, an adult, as a woman in America, it's going to be soccer.
That's true.
And so I think that's another issue, which is the proliferation of stuff like rugby in other countries. That siphons off a lot of what would be NFL talent. But we saw Jared Hayne, like I don't know what he was as a rugby player, but I guess he was really good. He was a star. Dude washed out. He was a special teamer only in the NFL and then washed out. So, I don't know. But it's a very interesting thought. I think we'd see a lot about what's going on with basketball.
Dead air, dead air, dead air. What am I doing? I'm calling up my sleeper teams to get fantasy football advice from Jeff. That's what I'm going to do.
If you're playing against me, you should start Tyson Bagent.
I will.
That's my advice for everybody starting against me. You know what's really nice is in my home league converted to a dynasty, and I've been kind of fighting for first place. And the guy I'm playing this week is he's tanking near one, so it's like, oh, I don't even have to worry about that league this week, and that's the one that gives me the most stress.
But that's a trap. It's a trap game.
It's not a trap because he did not play Travis Etienne, and I played Alvin Kamara. So trap has already been moved aside.
I am playing against you in the Experts League this week, but I can't find room.
You should start Tyson Bagent.
I can't find room in my starting roster over Patrick Mahomes and Tua Tagovailoa.
You should start Tyson Bagent. Tua and Patrick Mahomes. Look, real pros have Russell Wilson and Derek Carr as their starting quarterbacks.
And you're predicted to beat me. Soundly. Well, you had Kamara go off, damn.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's because of Alvin Kamara. Look at my bench. I literally had nobody else to start. My roster fit perfectly. I have Jameis Winston as my backup to Derek Carr because I fear that man's going to get benched because he's out of control. And then literally everybody else on my team is on a bye.
You have Darrell Henderson on your bench.
Oh, I picked him up. I picked him up yesterday or this morning. Yeah, I just picked him up. I'm not going to play him. That's a stash. Because I need running backs. I need the running back.
What we need even more than running backs are starter sit questions. The well has dried up. Hit us with them. We got Jeff's 100% undivided attention.
We don't need starter sit questions because all you need is love. John Lennon, smart man, shot in the back. Very sad. Quick, what movie is that from?
I don't know.
All you need is love. John Lennon, smart man, shot in the back. Very sad.
Big Lebowski.
No.
Schindler's List.
Yes, it is from Schindler's List.
Nailed it.
Oscar Schindler said this about a small child in Liverpool at that point.
He knew. He had the pulse of those kids like nobody else in history.
No, it's Independence Day. Jeff Goldblum's father says that when they're on Air Force One.
OJ was rooting for him and Okoye in the 2010s. Is Okoye the son of Christian Okoye? Or is Okoye
Lawrence
Christian
Okoye?
Okoye?
I was going to say, Lawrence Okoye, is that his name? How about that baseball?
What's going on with baseball? Is it over yet?
It's the championships. The big men, they're hitting the ball. It's going far. It's landed outside of the field of play.
Foul?
Bryce Harper stole home.
I love stealing home. I saw Ricky Henderson on one of his 3 home steals live.
Oh, damn. Seeing a steal of home is crazy.
Yeah.
ALCS game 6 is tonight. If Houston wins, they're going to the World Series. Phillies, Arizona tomorrow. If Philly wins, they're going to the World Series. So, World Series is starting on Friday, I think. Yeah, Friday.
Decky wants to know, are the Blue Jays doing well?
Deku, I regret to inform you, they were very underwhelming this year. But they still made the playoffs.
Oh, look, the Ravens got swept. I mean, the Orioles got swept. I hear that happens every year.
The Orioles never make the playoffs. Playoffs?
They made it this year. They did really good, and then they
Yeah,
got
they
swept.
were the number one seed and they got absolutely rinsed because everybody on their team is super young but super good. And so they got bulldozed by the Rangers, who everybody's talking about this like good feel good story, but they have the fourth highest payroll in baseball. So it's like they went out and they got two of the top five free agents in 2020 going into the 2022 season. And they're like, oh, those plucky Rangers. And it's like, no, they spent a ton of money. They also got Jacob DeGrom, who's on IR, but they spent a lot of money on him and then traded for Max Scherzer. And it's like, no, the Rangers are going all in to win this. They're not plucky underdogs at all. The one seed Orioles were the underdog in that matchup.
Well, one thing's for sure, we can all root for the plucky Houston Texans, or whatever they're called, the Astros.
Yeah, the Astros.
Feel good cheaters
There's
of the
no,
century.
oh my God, it's really hard because I want to root for Dusty Baker, not just because he is the Giants um, head coach, but also because I live nearer to his high school, and there's a plaque there for him that my dog has poop next to him. So, fun fact.
Did the Giants hire a manager yet?
The Jags?
The Giants.
Oh, Giants. No, they interviewed Alyssa Nacken, which is the first time a
Yeah,
woman has been interviewed.
you caught my
And
segue perfectly.
yeah, Alyssa Nacken. The I I have zero opinion on baseball managers because I'm gonna be really honest with you. Anybody could like a, a lot of it these days is getting handed down from the front office. So it's not that anybody can do it. Like I couldn't do it, but like Alyssa Nacken could do it. Like she would be able to do it.
She's their assistant manager right now, right? Yeah.
She was third in line with under the Gabe Kapler. I believe under the Gabe Kapler regime, I believe she was third in line because Gabe Kapler got thrown out, then the guy who replaced him got thrown out of a game, and then Alyssa Nacken. No, she was fourth in line because Alyssa Nacken. That's how she became the first on-field coach, woman to be an on-field coach because she was, I believe, the first base coach.
She needs
So I
to
think she was fourth in line.
she needs to start something and get thrown out. That would be awesome. Start
That would be
John.
fun. What's great about being fourth in line for the Giants is they had like 20 coaches. So fourth in line was very high. On a lot of staff, so it's like middle to the bottom, but the Giants had a ton of coaches under Gabe Kapler.
Bill
So
Belichick signed a long-term deal in the offseason.
I saw that. All right, go off, King. I don't particularly care about this Bill Belichick legacy, Robert Kraft legacy. All I'm happy about is that the Patriots are a poverty franchise once again. That's all
I
that
am
matters.
also happy. Sorry, deck you.
Sorry, I will not apologize to any Patriots fan. You had your run. I feel about Patriots fans in the same way that I feel about Bitcoin fans. Like, you guys wouldn't shut up. Now you're in the hole. Sorry, I get to dance on your grave. Sorry, Deku.
Everything's now going to be sorry, deck you. Just whatever. Pick one half PPR.
Yeah,
Moss, Warren, Reynolds.
those are all backs in the same position. I would say Warren in the PPR thing. I think that we talked about on the podcast this week. I think that this is the week where Jonathan Taylor takes over for Zach Moss. Last week they split the load down the middle. So I think that it's not going to be Zach Moss. I think that Craig Reynolds is kind of a trap. The only way that Craig Reynolds has a big load is if something happens to Jahmyr Gibbs during the game.
Standard scoring for some reason. Uh, Jacoby Myers or Gabe Davis?
Jacoby Myers.
Deku says they've been waiting for JT to have this week he's going to have since draft night against
Yeah.
the Browns.
I mean, Jonathan Taylor needs a statement game. Ooh, Steven Adams underwent season-ending knee injury. Oh boy, he's a center for the Memphis Grizzlies.
Ah, are you in any fantasy
Mm,
basketball leagues?
hell no. I tried doing one, and I drafted two guys that were I joined a what was supposed to be a fantasy basketball dynasty league, and then I drafted Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic with my first two picks, and they're both like top three picks now in dynasty. And then my team is still ass, so I was like, maybe this one isn't for me.
I played
If I have
in
two of the top three guys in the league and I can't put this together, I'm maybe it's not for me.
I played in one like 15 years ago, and I had no idea what I was doing, and I won. And I'm like, oh, that's so many reasons for me never to do this again. Like, I
Yeah,
should not be winning. I don't watch basketball.
yeah, it's for me, it's too much to juggle. Like people are like, oh, baseball, you have to set your lineups every day. It's like, no, you don't, not really. But basketball, so many things change every day. It's pretty crazy. And then the fact that most of them are like 9 cat roto leagues, that's too much for me to track, man. Like in fantasy baseball, I can at least punt categories, and I'm not like and a lot and here's the trick to if you're playing in a head-to-head fantasy baseball league. Uh, Punt steals because you don't have to win steals if it's a categories league. And home runs correlate to runs and RBI because every home run is literally one run and one RBI. So people weight home runs and stolen bases the same when really they shouldn't.
Interesting. Decky
So
wants to know if we're interested in the F1 in Houston tonight.
then the what?
The F1 might be Formula One. I'm
Oh
not
no, I'm
unsure.
not. I'm not a racing guy.
We're interested in the Eagles and the Dolphins.
Yeah, Eagles and Dolphins, baby. I'm not a racing guy mostly because I think as a kid, as a kid you make opinions for very weird reasons. I got annoyed that Jeff Gordon existed, and so I was like, I will never pay attention to racing as a kid. So I never
I'm
got into it.
I'm not a televised racing guy, but I will line up for hours to watch a live race, even if it's just like amateur circuit, because live races are insane. When you,
I will not
oh man,
because I saw Final Destination 4.
ah,
Was that 4?
I don't watch
One
those.
was the plane, 2 was the car accident, 3 was the roller coaster, 4 was the racetrack, 5 was the bridge. 6 is going to be a boat. I'm very excited. Did you say you don't watch Final Destination movies, Evan?
Five, no, four. You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
4.
I watch a lot of horror, like more than anybody, like maybe one movie a day, but I don't watch that kind of horror where I know what's gonna happen.
Mm,
I want to not know what's gonna happen.
well, you don't know what's going to happen.
They're all gonna die.
Not all of them.
A lot of them.
Well, it's great. Major spoilers for Final Destination 2, a movie that came out, I think, 20 years ago. Um, Ali Larder, who is in the survives the first one, comes back in the second one, and you're like, oh, Ali Larder is going to be the new Devon Sawa. She's going to be like the person who like has the mind meld with death, and she's going to be able to help. And then she gets her face blown up in a hospital like three-quarters of the way through the second movie. She gets wrecked.
Dickie says the logs falling off the truck and the sunbed scene stuck with them.
The one that sticks with me is the LASIK. Uh, Although the tanning scene, you do get to see female nudity. So, um, but the LASIK one sticks with me, and then no, just the LASIK one is really the one that I think about a lot.
Do you think the low traffic today is because of the six buys?
Possible.
We've had normal viewership, but just low question count.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to do. It's like, did you put the disclaimer up about the Rams running backs? Maybe
Yep,
that's what it is.
it's there.
People are like, oh, I want to ask a question about the Rams running backs. Or somebody to blame if I choose the wrong one. It's like, oh no, they've cut me off at the pass. Is the dog barking outside coming across on video?
Very, very, very faintly. I thought it
With
was your chair squeaking until you said that.
nope. We are now hemmed in on three sides by dogs. The neighbors behind us got a little dog. And so there are dogs all around, including Frick and Frack, who are they are not in here. I cannot show off the dogs. They are sleeping in the bed with my wife.
Deku, I for one am glad you lived. Um, Jeff, show us
Yes,
something
sir.
from your desk.
Oh, something from my desk. Okay,
I need
let's
to
see
make
what I
theme
got
music
from
from
my
that.
desk.
I need to make a little theme song.
Jeff's showing off something from his desk.
Just showing off
Um,
something from his desk.
so when I was a kid, I was really big, as most kids or as most people my age are. I was really big into the um, Fox X-Men cartoon. And as because I was a child, I had a lot of toys from that. My favorite toy, or one of my favorites, I had two favorites. I had the Cyclops that it wouldn't really light up. I think he pushed a lever, it opened a hole in his head and lit light through, so it looked like he was doing an optic blast. The other one was Wolverine, not in his X-Men outfit, but in the outfit where they find him, where I think he's wrestling in the Great White North. I might be getting that mixed up with the movie. And that was my favorite toy. And obviously, toys you lose track of them as you go along. A few years ago, my wife's aunt, she's really big into like thrifting, not like she's very big into like secondhand stuff, and she got me for Christmas one year. She was like, I feel like this was something that you would like, and she got me the exact same toy. Not It's not mine, but the exact same toy that I loved as a kid. So now I have Wolverine that sits on my desk, a gift from my wife's aunt from Christmas a few years ago, completely unbeknownst. Like I never talked to her about X-Men. I never talked to her about the toy. She was just like, I felt like this would be something that you'd want to have like around. And the reason I like it so much is because you can have his claws shoot out. So this claw is a little worse for wear. You kind of have to nudge it out, but you can have his claws shoot out. So that's why I like it so much, or I liked it so much as a kid.
Another thing you like so much is half point PPR questions. Half PPR. Addison versus San Francisco or Myers at Chicago?
I'll go Addison. The 49ers, they have like one or two drives every week where they just get beat downfield for some reason. Like they're just like, all right, we're just gonna take this drive off. And I believe in Kirk Cousins a lot more than Brian Hoyer. So I would go Addison. I think Addison is due for a big week because he's the wide receiver one there. Jacoby Myers isn't. Devontae Adams is. So there's a lot of reasons to like Addison over Jacoby Myers.
And Devontae Williams wants to get fed.
Yeah.
And Brian Hoyer wants to keep getting a paycheck. So thanks for the question. Welcome to the chat, Corn G007. What else? Who else
Another
should I
thing for
start
my
against
desk.
you?
Another thing for my desk. This is from Argentina. When one of my best friends studied abroad in Argentina, he brought me back this little guy and a mate gourd. And I was really into yerba mate, loose leaf yerba mate for a while. That was my early 20s annoying aesthetic thing that I did.
What is yerba mate?
It's a loose leaf tea.
That's true.
It's
Browns legend Brian Hoyer. I was thinking of that randomly the other day. I'm like, didn't he like throw for like 4,000 yards that one time? That was interesting.
Patriots legend Brian Hoyer, Niners legend Brian Hoyer.
Wow. He should hook
I
up with
want, I
Josh
want to say
Johnson.
Houston, but I doubt it. Let's see. Brian Hoyer.
I'm Googling the same thing.
Uh, oh, that's right. Cardinals legend Brian Hoyer. Oh, Texans legend. I was right. Chicago legend Brian Hoyer. Colts legend Brian Hoyer. Now Raiders legend Brian Hoyer.
Brian Hoyer has played for seven different NFL teams. The second most, he started for seven different NFL teams, the second most in league history.
He started for the Niners, baby. What's funny is when you think of Brian Hoyer, you think of Brian Hoyer on the Patriots, his early years. When you think of Jimmy Garoppolo, you think of his early years of being on the Patriots. They both played for the Patriots and the Niners. And when they traded for Brian Hoyer or Jimmy Garoppolo, they cut Brian Hoyer. So this is the first time that they're like actual teammates for any significant length of time.
All right, now
Isn't that weird?
yes. Which quarterback has started for the most teams?
Which quarterback has started for the most teams? Vinny
Yeah.
Testaverde?
I don't know. This article
What are your
sucks.
options?
Let's see. Oh, nope, but it's someone we can guess. He started a quarterback for not 8, but 9 different teams.
Johnson?
Let's see a guess in the chat. Which quarterback has started for the most teams with 9 different starts? This is very gettable. Keep guessing, Jeff. You haven't guessed it.
Oh, he's looking it up. Oh, I saw the answer. It's very gettable.
Brian Hoyer got benched for Johnny Manziel. I did forget that. Now I will try to forget it again.
I'll give everybody a hint. He was caping for Jameis Winston last week at halftime of the Saints game.
He was caping?
He was like, he needs to be starting. Like, we've seen what Derek Carr can do. And I was like, why is Ryan Fitzpatrick going so hard in the paint for Jameis Winston? And I was like, oh, yeah, they were teammates.
Congratulations to Corn G007. You got it. Brian Fitzpatrick. Okay, I can say names correctly. Ryan Fitzpatrick nailed
Ryan
it.
Fitzpatrick.
Has started for 9 different NFL teams. By a count of 2 teams, the most ever. Interesting.
Okay.
Now name the teams.
Wait, hold on. Let me see. Jets,
Yep, ding,
Tampa Bay,
ding,
the Rams,
ding.
Titans.
Nope. Yes, sorry, ding, you got it.
Yeah. So that's 4. I'm less than halfway there, and I'm completely out of guesses. Hold on. Let me think.
There's 2 kind of obvious ones that you haven't said yet. Because he spent 2 years there. And there's one he spent 4
Miami,
years. Miami. Yes.
Houston.
Houston, yes. You're up to 6.
Mm.
One he played 2 seasons in 2007, 2008. One he played 4 seasons, 2009, 2012, and one he played for in 2021.
Oh my God, 2021. Detroit.
Nope.
I'm trying to think of teams that have had quarterback carousels.
Yes.
The Bills.
The Bills was 2009, 2012. One of
Not the
them,
Panthers.
no, one of these I don't think you're ever going to get. And one you're going to be like, oh, yeah.
Hit me.
The Bengals in 2007 to 2008.
Oh my God, the Bengals. How did I forget the Bengals?
Well, how about the Washington football team in 2021?
Yes, that one. Okay, as soon as you said that, now I have a memory of him on Washington. Yeah, they were the football team at that point, right?
Yep. 7 of
Yeah.
9. 7 of 9 is quite commendable.
Call me
I
Jerry
commend it.
Ryan, baby.
Let's see. We're going to wrap this
Call me
up.
Annika Hansen. There you go. There's a deep cut for all you nerds out there.
I think we got 5 more minutes left in us. Hit us with your final questions, please, and I will go to our Discord where no one's even asking questions in the Discord. So, Sandra wants to know. She's cool. She's hanging out with Jams like sometime this weekend. Half
Doing what?
PPR. Pick 2. Gibson at New York Giants, Henderson versus Pitt, JWJ at Philadelphia, or McKinnon versus Chargers. Half PPR. Pick 2. Gibson, Henderson, JWJ, McKinnon.
Gibson, Henderson, JWJ, McKinnon. Gibson, Henderson, JWJ.
I feel like Gibson is the automatic one. And then we're just debating about number 2.
I feel. Wait, we're picking 2?
Yeah.
That makes life easier. Get what's his face out. Get Jerick McKinnon. He's had no consistent usage.
Yeah.
The only week he had is because he scored 2 touchdowns
On 3 targets.
Yeah, on 3 targets. I would roll JWJ, and so that brings it down between Gibson and Henderson.
Yep.
I would say if you're the favorite, go Gibson. If you're the underdog, go Henderson because. Again, we don't know about the Rams. Henderson could get 15 touches. He could get 2. We don't know.
Yeah, I would go Gibson, and and JWJ, and just forget the headache of the Rams backfield.
Okay, that's entirely fair too. If you want to go like, okay, I want the guy that I know is going to get touches, JWJ Gibson. That's your move.
All right, Corn G's got one for us. Half PPR. Foreman versus Las Vegas or White versus Atlanta? I know my answer, but I'll wait for Jeff.
Not Rashad White.
That is my answer.
My answer is always not Rashad White.
Bryce Ridley, welcome to the chat. They want to know Aaron Jones or Brian Robinson. Can the answer be both? Full PPR.
I would say so. Aaron Jones is trending towards playing. He's going to be playing today. I would say that Aaron Jones has the better matchup. He's also the better football player. The other side of that is Brian Robinson does have a better chance at a touchdown, I would guess, because Ron Rivera is finally having him just run north-south instead of doing this other BS that he had him doing. All that being said, I'm a huge Aaron Jones head. Let's go Aaron Jones, baby.
And they're starting Kenneth Walker at RB1, which is understandable. That's a great decision
Kenneth
to have.
Walker might be the RB1 this week.
Yeah,
Oh,
easily.
Kenneth Walker is RB1 for Walker. So there you go.
Let's see. What the
Because the Cardinals are stinky poo.
Yeah, they're the consensus rankings for half PPR for, well, I guess he has full PPR, but for Fantasy Pros, expert consensus.
Yeah.
He's number 2 in PPR behind Austin Eckler at Kansas City.
I just liked my own post.
Okay.
Yeah, Miles Sanders, Dave Montgomery out on their bench. Yeah,
You got some running backs, man. They've got that depth.
Yeah, that's a good squad.
That's going to last you really good when Kenneth Walker eventually goes down for multiple weeks.
My team. What the heck is this? Who should I start? Week 7 PPR. What? No. I'm trying to find multi-league assistant. By the way, multi-league assistant, if you play in a ton of leagues, it's the only way you can do it. It's literally the only way you can do it on Fantasy Pros.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll check that out.
Because you import your rosters and then it'll tell you like you can do like waiver you can do top available, and you can literally just go through your leagues and it'll tell you the top available. You can just do like go through and change your leagues, and you don't have to like go league by league. It'll tell you the top available. So you can you don't have to like click, go through, sort all this stuff.
Mike wants to
like,
know
for example, I was going to say the top running back available in the lateral dynasty league is Melvin Gordon. Good for Melvin Gordon. Okay, what were you going to say?
Mike wants to know, is Oren Burks any good for my IDP?
Ooh, that's a good question. Oren Burks had a pick a couple weeks ago. I don't know what actually Oren Burks' stats are. He tends to get good amount. He tends to be a big play guy. Going up against the Vikings, he does have a chance at a pick. He did, over the last couple of weeks, he's been getting a lot of run. He's been getting a lot of play. 2 weeks ago, he had a pick and 5 tackles. Last week, he had 8 tackles. I think if you're in a bind, you could do worse. Let me see what his snap share is, because that's really what you're looking for. He played 100% of snaps last week. So if you're in a bind, you can find a cornerback that's playing 100% of snaps on your waiver wire. Go for it.
Cool. And we're going to call it there. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. Good luck.
Goodbye.